Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. And happy birthday to the People's Prince, Prince Harry. Well, for us, it's still the eve of his birthday, but that's okay. In about an hour and a half, it'll be official in the Central Time Zone. But for all intent and purposes, happy birthday, Prince Harry. And of course, I was thinking, maybe maybe a dance for his birthday. Um, Especially since he had gone through the trouble and did all that practicing and everything. I think that what would be more perfect than this? All right. Happy birthday, Prince Harry. Okay, let me see who was here first. Joyce Anderson, thank you so much for being here first. And I see a whole bunch of the usual suspects. Hey, Nubian Queen. Carol Lunn. Calavita, thank you so much for being here. Michelle Breathwaite. Let me see. Ingrid Sowers. And is it Michael Langston? Annie Bullard? Yeah, okay. Am I repeating myself? I think I am. Anyway, I don't think we're going to be on for more than an hour. Hey, Joan Garcia. Joy Moore. Amelia Rodriguez, thank you so much for being here. So don't forget, our prince is going to be in New York very soon. So there is, they say that Prince Harry is supposed to go on an excursion. I don't know where they would get word about this from because you know what? Uh, Things have been pretty airtight in Montecito because there are no leaks there. So how they would know something like that, I don't know. But if that is the case, he is a grown man, and I know he'll be responsible. It's really too bad that everybody's, well, not everybody, but certain people are hoping that there's going to be some spectacle or something that's newsworthy, worthy that is. But I am reasonably certain it's going to be something very, very modest and responsible. Okay, so Prince Harry, I was anxious about 30. I'm excited about 40. And of course, by this time tomorrow, there's going to be a ton of greetings. And also, tonight, that's when everybody was supposed to meet in New York. Wonder how they are getting on. So far, I haven't seen any photos. I haven't heard any updates. But if I'm correct, I think it should be going on right now. So um, I hope they're having a great time. Would have been fantastic to be there. But if there's anyone who has gone, please give us a word or two and let us know what it was like. But I'm going to check my emails and see if there's anything shareable. And I don't think there is. Nope, I don't see anything that. Matter of fact, I don't see anything. So I'm kind of excited and curious to know how it's going to go. But okay, I'm looking. Nobody's gone, huh? Hey, Legs. Hello. So let me see here. Let me see if I can grab this one. Okay. Okay, I don't suppose I can. But yeah, I wanted to play this. Well, wait a minute. Maybe I can. Give me a second. Give me a second. Maybe I can. And also, wasn't it this time last year they were at the Invictus Games? This has been an amazing year. So much. I mean, like 12 months. In the past 12 months, and even beyond that, so much has happened for the Sussexes. And Meghan said that there was so much that was coming, and she wished she could talk about it, but she couldn't. But that was a monumental understatement because it has been a ton of stuff. With that, they did not disappoint. Okay. Here's a couple of other greetings from some various people on the Twitter. Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, happy 40 King. Happy 40 King. Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, happy 40. And then over there, Prince Harry at 40, more popular. This was curious. That was in the Times. I did not bother to open up the article. I didn't even look for it. But apparently, and I don't think anybody's surprised by this, Prince Harry at 40, more popular than the king in the US. A poll for the Times reveals surprising findings. Listen, we're not in high school. We do not need these trivial attention seeking things, but I don't think anybody is surprised by that. I could not imagine anyone would be surprised. Most of what Charles has been doing to try to look tough and be all hard on Harry and of course his brother, I think it backfired. I think it backfired. Booting them out of Frogmore, I also think that that was an epic backfire. So I don't think anybody's surprised by that. But yeah, apparently Harry's popularity is up, according to what they say. Again, I didn't look at the poll. I don't know where the poll came from, but Harry's popularity is up. And it appears that Charles is tanking. Okay. Wow, that's a good photo. Maybe I'll save that one. I like that. Very good. Okay, but I do have a couple of sound bites that I'm going to share with you. Oh, that's nice. That is nice. Okay. I use that tomorrow. That one is for tomorrow. Okay. Moving on. Thank you, I was about to say, yeah, not okay. Thank you, Paulette. I was going to say Claudette. Thank you, Paulette. And NBC Washington, D.C., NBC in Washington, how Prince Harry plans to celebrate his 40th. Happy birthday there on the right. And of course, surprise, surprise, Los Angeles. Everybody seems to be fixated on what is Harry going to do to celebrate. Prince Harry celebrates 40th with friends and family. So, well, we know they're going to do something in Montecito. Who knows anything further than that? Glow, who makes those wonderful videos, said to a wonderful, unique Prince, to a wonderful, unique people's Prince, Harry, on his 40th birthday. May God continue to bless him and his family, Princess Meghan, Prince Archie, and Princess Lilibet Diana. Let's see, this is from when he was inducted into the Hall of Fame of the Legends of Aviation in January 2024. So that is where that photo comes from. CK says, Baron, can you do a side-by-side photo comparison of Harry and Meghan as a real loving couple versus the... I will see what I can do. I was trying to limit them for today, but I'll see what I can do. Esmeralda Dylan, thank you so much for 4 months membership. And Esmeralda says, happy birthday, Prince Harry. Okay. Now, don't know what's going on. I know you guys have seen this toad. I'm talking about him, not her. Can you believe that? Usually it's the other way around. But I know that you've seen him before, right? And please, 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 for the sake of your nerves, try to avoid watching this royal thing that they have on the Sun, from the Sun newspaper. Try to avoid it. Now, I don't have to click on it directly because one of the people on the Twitter, actually, they get the credit for it, and she actually makes sure that she only shares stuff that is important or interesting for what myself and other content creators may need. So this way, I'm not giving them any views directly on their social media, but anyway, let me just get to what they had to say, because there has been let's see, this is Ingrid Seaweed or something like that, Seaweed, and then the other one, Jeannie Bond. We heard that one yesterday, the one that I referred to as Piranha Face. Um, you know what? She's gonna lose her nickname in just a minute. Um, but let me play this for you.
Majesty Magazine and royal biographer Ingrid Seward. Okay, Ingrid, let's jump straight in. So Prince Harry, we know he's in Montecito, and we know there's going to be some huge party for turning 40. His father won't be there. His brother won't be there. How do you imagine Prince Harry is going to be? Is he going to be happy celebrating his 40th birthday in Montecito?
Well, 40 is supposed to be a turning point in a young man's life. It's, you forget the craziness of youth, and you become more not, I wouldn't say more adult, but you become wiser. Now, has Harry become wiser? I think he probably has. And I personally think Harry is very happy in Montecito. There's no reason not to be. It's one of the most beautiful places in the world. You've got the mountains, you've got the sea, you've got the amazing climate, and he's also focused on whatever philanthropic work he happens to be doing.
Well, we've heard rumours recently. I mean, they say the Sussexes deny this. They say he's very happy in the US. Yes, he has been reaching back to friends, but he doesn't. But we're hearing these rumours that he wants to spend more time in the UK, that he wants to.
Okay. This is why I tell you, do not watch that show. because it's only going to elevate your blood pressure. Um, this guy looks very dapper. He sounds very smart and everything, but w- you have to remember that anytime you watch any talk show or any type of panel like setting, they are there to tell you what to think, or at the very least, they have an agenda for whatever cause, in this case, the firm. I'm surprised that Ingrid is pushing back against that narrative. Um, but then again, this may be an attempt to introduce a reasonable talking point. And as I was saying about what is that awful person's name? Camilla Tominey. Maybe he does not want to appear to be the one saying something sensible. So instead of inviting someone volatile and, um, I guess, super negative and hateful, they brought in someone who's a little milder, but no less lethal, to say certain things. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe he wants her to disagree, or maybe he just wants to introduce these talking points so that he can counter the narrative just to make sure that nobody believes that Harry is happy. But either way, it's an interesting strategy. That's why I said the new curious obsession with Harry. It seems as though they are trying to guide a certain type of conversation around Harry's happiness and such. The only thing that's really bad on their part that does not really help them is that this is recycled over and over and over again. Esmeralda, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you for being a member of Royal Sussex and supporting Royal Sussex. Greatly appreciate it. And Elaine Parker, thank you so much for the super sticker and supporting Royal Sussex, as well as being a wonderful moderator or part of the mod squad for Royal Sussex. So, yes, I believe it's an interesting strategy. Not sure exactly what they're hoping for, but I believe it's Roy Anika. Roy Anika, she also has used that talking point of there's no reason to believe that Harry is not happy. Oh, great. I'm so glad to hear that. I am so glad to hear that. Now, Megan is and yes, I I wasn't sure, but okay. I was like, do I really want to? But I think it's necessary because this is a strategy. They have gone hot and heavy with this. And when I tell you that there is absolutely nothing new, there is absolutely nothing new. Anytime they mention Samantha Cohen, and most of the people that they're referring to are people that were not really working for the Sussexes. They were appointed to the Sussexes. They were not hired by the Sussexes, right? They were appointed by the palace to Harry and Meghan. And if you notice, okay, Rebecca English did not write this one, but didn't I tell you guys that there was some kind of rollout with William and that it was all about Harry and Meghan bad, Will and Kate good? So they're pulling this one out of nowhere again. Let's see. Leg says seems they need to deflect from Wank's failure. Here, here. Thank you so much, Legs. I was counting on you to chime in. Hello, Anastasia. Thank you so much for being here. But yeah, I was a bit speechless last night when I saw, like, it did not get much traction. I'll just say that it did not get much traction in the comments. People were, not everybody. There were the usual haters, but some people were just like, "Old news, this again. Please leave them alone." That kind of thing. Um, the problem with Harry in royal circle, he's left behind. He's left behind feelings of disgust. Is accused of wreaking biblical vengeance. That is Rebecca the Blob. So these two stories work in tandem, right? Uh, one strike against Meghan, the other one is striking out against Harry. Rebecca, who has been around Harry a lot as a royal rota person. This is what amazes me about her, is that I'm pretty sure, I mean, there are photos with Harry and Rebecca during these royal outings and such. And yet she seamlessly, for the sake of William, I'm telling you guys, I felt very strongly that William's return to work is part of a massive rollout. What happened in Colombia was such a sobering wake up call for them. They were not prepared. They got very little notice before the trip took place. They were on vacation and they had no answer. They had no way to respond to it. But vengeance? Biblical vengeance? Who used language like that? He left behind feelings of disgust and is accused of wreaking biblical vengeance, and some vow never to speak to him again. When she says some, she's talking about William. This is on William's behalf. Read Rebecca English unrivaled report. And then it includes this. Who's in, I'm sorry, who, all right, sorry. Who is who in the firm and Harry's shared pals? I don't know why they think that this is a thing. Um, I don't know how close Meghan is to Ennifel. And Chef Jose Andreas, he just wants to feed people. Idris Elba, you can have him. I don't think that there was any closeness in the first place. The Beckhams, I don't care. The Clooneys, none of this matters. None of this matters. This seems as though there is an audience of one, that being William. I don't know how much they're paying Rebecca English for the work that she does, but it's all appears to be part of a greater strategy. Enters the Sun. Now that was a Daily Mail. Midwife crisis. How Harry is gone from spare to Meghan's plus one, as pals fear birthday boy is hating his life in the U.S. Not according to Ingrid, not according to Jeannie, not according to Roy Anika. How do you have this divergence between, let's say, a Rebecca English, who is a mouthpiece for Kensington Palace, and then the rest of them, who I believe, as I said yesterday, I do believe that some of the sobering or sober mind, should I say, they are trying to save the institution from themselves because this strategy is ridiculous. It doesn't change anything. I do believe that they've given up on this idea that William and Kate are going to be a big hit in the US. I believe William has given up on the idea that he's going to be a big hit in the US, as evident by the fact that he decided to withdraw from New York, which, of course, Rebecca English was dispatched to go out there and claim that William, excuse me, said months ago that he wasn't going to go. But we all know that that's not the case. He was going to go until Harry announced his trip. And then all of a sudden, he chickened out. And then there's Meghan center stage. What's missing is there is a lawsuit or has been litigation, has and continues to be litigation against Rupert Murdoch, right? And so I suppose this was designed to try to spoil Harry's birthday or whatever it is that they're trying to do. Waste of time. This is a epic waste of time. It doesn't change anything. Harry is incredibly popular in the United States and even more so popular in the military and veterans community. So this changes nothing. Again, yesterday, the Sun and the Daily Mail said that they were going to do some restructuring and cutbacks in their news gathering, news bureaus, whatever you call it, in the United States, which is not an indication that they are succeeding. That's an indication of failure. Why Hollywood keeps quitting on Harry and Meghan. Plus, how the echo, well, anyway, this article, which is a new article as of the 12th, it references everything from the past, including all of the people from Kensington Palace that not only were not ever going to come to the United States, they never worked for Harry and Meghan in the first place. And they are deliberately omitting that information to try to make them look bad. I didn't know that the Hollywood Reporter was so shady. I looked up the parent company. I don't think it belongs to Murdoch, but it is full of shade. And I won't even bore you with the article because it's all rehashed. It includes this guy who was on a 3-month trial, right? And then it also, let me see, where is it at? Somewhere in there it says, oh, there it is. 2021, Samantha Cohen. Well, what happened in 2021? What happened in 2021? Harry and Meghan left in 2020. Samantha Cohen went to work in the government. She was not coming to the United States. There's no way. She went to work for Boris Johnson. That's why I say all of this, and this is from the Hollywood Reporter, this is rehashed. It is nothing. It is all the same thing. The article even mentioned 5 a.m. emails. It even went so far as to say 5 a.m. emails. So when I tell you they don't know anything from Montecito, that they have no reference and no sources from Montecito, they are leaning heavily on the Kensington Palace days when the staff was torn between the Sussexes, and the Cambridges. And there is no way that the staff could legitimately refuse information to William or even side wholly and completely with the Sussexes. Just like Christian Jones, they said that he was a secretary to Meghan, but then the same article said he was also working with Will and Kate. Same with Jason Knopf. He was supposed to be there for Harry and Meghan, but then he was also working for Will and Kate. Those people that they are supposedly so damaged never really worked for them. They were working against them. They were plotting against them. Let's see. Leg says, how's Lee Thompson? Any inquiries not around? You know, I heard that he may have discreetly and quietly stepped down. That's what I heard, but there was no public reference to it. All we know is that they're trying to hire someone to replace him. Thank you for the comment, the super chat. So I'm not gonna spend any more time with that except to say this. Whether or not staff has come and gone from Montecito, there was a successful tour of Nigeria, right? Day 2, still a successful tour of Nigeria. Day 3, still a successful tour of Nigeria. And then there's Colombia. And that's when that Kettler or Kettle, whatever that guy's name, he left. You know what? There was a successful tour of Colombia, day 1, day 2, and day 3. Now, if this is what I want to point out. This is what I wanted to point out so desperately. Whatever they are trying to insinuate about Harry and Meghan, it doesn't add up that they could have these successful tours with staff that supposedly is terrified of them. How did all of this come together if they're so terrified? If they're so afraid? If they were belittled? How does this work? Because it seemed, by all outward appearances, absolutely seamless. And the two protected individuals, the ones that they stroke their egos, among other things, the ones that they try to build up, the very mediocre Middleton and her husband, with all of the full cooperation of the firm, of the royal family, of the various governments wherever they've gone, they have yet to have a successful anything since the Sussexes left. Most obvious is the Caribbean tour, where they lost nearly half the Commonwealth, right? So this is what I wanted to share with you. Don't worry about these attacks. They mean nothing. What means something are these successful outings, tours, quasi-royal tours, whatever you want to call it. They were a huge success. And some of the Royal Rota has said that it was successful, especially Colombia. They really got a kick out of Colombia. Nigeria, they didn't have the access, obviously. Colombia, at the very least, they had that one pool reporter who would share stuff with them. So that was a little better, but still not the access that they wanted. So it means nothing. They are And Invictus, The Hague, Dusseldorf, and then of course we have Canada coming up. The Sussexes were absolutely on point every step of the way for their various um, what do you call it? Their various appearances where the Invictus is concerned. Not a single misstep, not one. And well, gosh, who was? I can't remember who said it the other day that they have not had a misstep. They have not. Everything has been on point. The only big difference is the taxpayers from the United Kingdom are not footing the bill. And they have not been a huge financial burden on the taxpayers of the places that they've gone to visit. And I get the feeling that not everyone who works for them is mentioned on the website. I just get that feeling. And even though they want to talk about who's not there anymore, they don't want to discuss who stayed. And I do believe that what is her name? Mandana, the after she left, wasn't there a photo with Meghan wearing the t-shirt for the women in Iran? Didn't they spend some time since she left? She was there temporarily. Some of this staff was there temporarily while the Sussexes were doing their maternity. Again, something else that they never mention in those articles. They don't mention the fact that Harry and Meghan, I think it was what, 6 months of maternity leave where they worked part time, and Meghan perhaps up to a year of maternity leave where she worked part time. No mention of that. Some of the staff was quite temporary. So I'm reminding you all of this just in case they get your blood pressure up or they start to wear on your nerves. All of this needs to be put in proper context. The attempt with these articles, with these talking points and such, is they're trying to drive hate on the internet, right? In the social media. They're trying to drive hate on the social media, and they're trying to create negativity where the Sussexes are concerned because of how incredibly successful they've been. And there is the Willie rollout. Harry's and Meghan's trip to Canada was a huge win. And that wasn't even the Invictus Games. And they could not avoid sharing every picture and every video that they could because they need the Sussexes way more than Harry and Meghan need them. And when I say they, not just the family, but the tabloids. Harry and Meghan are the only working royals. When they went to New York, that first trip to New York, when everybody was like, is this a royal tour? Is it not a royal tour? It ate them up to see all of the security at the One World Trade Center, the motorcade, where the Sussexes, when they go to New York, essentially they are treated like they would treat a foreign dignitary. Now, the one time when they let slip the amount of, protection was that night with the Ms. Award. And then Eric Adams said, the next time that they come here, we are going to make sure that their protection is airtight. And they did. And they did. You could not get close to them. And they were only just going around the corner. And that amount of consideration from New York City that is denied to them in the United Kingdom, unless Harry gives a 28-day notice and all, that's bonkers. Uh, one of the financial capitals of the world is London. One of the wealthiest countries in the world is the United Kingdom. So last minute visits from dignitaries, and that include the Sussexes, that happens all the time. You don't need that kind of notice. And Harry's going back to New York. And he has a huge itinerary, which includes African parks, Travelers, um, oh yeah, Archwell, right? And let me see what else. Oh gosh, I knew this a minute ago. Oh, was it something for Invictus? But anyway, I know it's 5 things. 5 key events. Oh, the Diana Award. So there's the 5 key events that are going to happen in New York, which is the reason why William decided I'm not going, because there's going to be too much positive news for Harry. And he knows last time he went was a flop. Hudson Yard. That was the other one, Hudson Yard. That was when they said, don't you love that thumbnail, Sussex and the city? Oh, did I put city twice? Oh, well. It was supposed to be like Sex in the City. But anyway, hugely successful, especially when they went to that laboratory school. They are jealous. They are paranoid. William looked like he was ill yesterday. He looked incredibly gaunt. And Kate is supposedly too sick to work. And so they send Becky the Blob and all the rest of the gang to try to drag them down. Omid warned them with his book. Not only did he warn them, but he also kind of dragged them too. And everything that he warned them about seems to be their biggest problem right now. Harry and Meghan have moved on. They're in Montecito. They're happy. The weather is always amazing, save for the occasional whatever, big rainstorm or what have you. But they can go outside and pick an orange if they want to. The house is beautiful. They have amazing friends that are family. And for the most part, they come and go unnoticed. You don't see much paparazzi around them. I don't know how it could be any better. I really don't know. And then, of course, they try to use this thing about how they're running out of money. They're running out of money. Well, what happens when Harry turns 40? He gets a lot of money. He gets a lot of money. Oh, there's my list right there. African Parks, Diana Award, Halo Trust, Travelers, Archwell. There you go. That is the business that Harry is going to attend to whilst in New York City. And it is going to be all that. Again, during the United Nations, whatever week. And just a reminder, when it comes to the United Nations, 3 out of those 7 people up there have spoken at the United Nations. But otherwise, you haven't, you shouldn't, you ain't, and you can't. Now, there are some people who would disagree that that Kitty can't, that she just simply can't do it. So, as a reminder, we're going to reach out to Kensington Palace.
Well, obviously, it'd be. I would love to have met her, and she's obviously she's an inspirational woman to look up to. Obviously, to this day, and going forward and things. It is. It's a wonderful family. The members who I've met have achieved a lot, and very inspirational. So, yeah, I do.
Hey, girl, sit down. Sit down. Sit down.
I think that's good advice. Just sit down. Also, this is like a birthday present from me and Queen Elizabeth. This is a birthday present from me and Queen Elizabeth to Harry. Just for his birthday. Just a little present for him.
Because they are the
Okay.
working royals, and it was a huge shock. It was silent. You could almost hear a pin drop when the 4 of them emerged from the car. You could see Harry get out first, then you saw Meghan, and then the other 2 royals as well. And it was remarkable to see.
What was that?
Because they are the working royals, and it was a huge shock. It was silent. You could almost hear a pin drop when the 4 of them emerged from the car. You could see Harry get out first, then you saw Meghan, and then the other 2 royals as well. And it was remarkable to see.
So it was Harry, Meghan, and the other 2 royals. Was that the order? It was that protocol that you had that you had Harry and Meghan, and then those other 2 royals, right? If you don't remember that, Tuesday, the 13th of September, 2022, when Harry and Meghan and those other 2 royals went for a walk to greet the mourners, where, as you can see there, CNN was under fire after a reporter refers to William and Kate as the other 2 royals. Well, they are the other 2 royals. They are non-essential personnel. No one is interested in them. Even for William's 40th birthday, he was referred to as the other brother. Take the hint. It's right there on your Sunday Times magazine cover. Don't you know who you are? Don't you know your name? You're the other brother. You're not essential. You're not important. And nobody cares. You don't even work. You don't even work. You're the other brother. He is the actual spare. And maybe that's why he's so angry. It's because even his birthday was about Harry. They make his birthday about Harry. They make the Queen's funeral about Harry and Meghan. The first plane that landed at the Aberdeen airport, the reporter commentating on the event was roundly disappointed when he realized that after he announced that, we believe this is the the arrival of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Harry and Meghan. They've just arrived at Aberdeen Airport, only for that door to crack open and William, Kate, no, Kate stayed home. William, Ford Fiesta, and Edwina stepped out the plane, right? And at that point, it was just the disappointment was clearly audible in their voices. William's the spare, not Harry. Oh, wait, I'm over here. So, this is my evidence of the rollout. When I say that there's a rollout, I mean that William, you can't tell because William looks awful, right? It doesn't seem like much of a rollout, but this is what I mean right here. Now, all of these articles are from Becky the Blob. They're not in chronological order, but bear with me. Prince William sports a full beard as he dons military gear to meet graduates of Royal Air Force College, where he earned his wings in 2008, right? That was on the 9th of, the 12th of September, right? And then before that, Prince William has lost trust in Prince Harry forever. How many times are they going to keep reminding us that there's no trust between them? They literally say this every time Harry does something big or Harry is trending. They go right back, rinse and repeat the same talking point. William doesn't trust Harry. William's not going to speak to Harry. William won't invite Harry to his coronation, to the likes of which I want to know what makes you think there's going to be a coronation by then. But again, I'm telling you guys, Becky the Blob is part of this coordinated effort for Williams' rollout. The only thing is, the person most essential to the rollout is not present, and that's William. He's there, but he's not there. I mean, does this look like somebody? You see what I'm saying? He looks ghastly. This man is not well. How are you going to, you know what? Maybe rollout is the right word. But the thing is he going to walk out or are you literally going to have to roll him out? They are trying to build him up for the fall working season, right? We're barely going to see him. The man is not well. Prince William would never have discouraged Prince Harry from coming to the funeral of their uncle, Lord Fellowes, insider claims. Well, apparently, somebody has been saying that William tried to discourage Harry from coming. So Becky the Blob, the mouthpiece of Kensington Palace, was dispatched allegedly to go out there and change the narrative. Meters apart, but still an ocean away, Vicar describes how he did not see warring William and Harry speak as they left their uncle's memorial service after Duke secretly traveled 5,000 miles to be there. I don't think it was a secret. I'm sure that the Spencers knew about it. The people who needed to know, and the people who are not necessary, meaning the tabloid media, they didn't know. That's simple. Again, all of these articles are from Rebecca English. Prince William says he would love to fly helicopters again during visit to Wales Air Ambulance headquarters. You mean the place that he avoided working all those years? He wants to go back so that he can get his name on the list of workers and not show up again? Isn't this the place where he stole the helicopter, or was that the regular Army or Air Force or whatever? Okay. And then Prince William reveals he's learning Welsh on Duolingo again to try to help William's rollout, which means that there's going to be some engagement in Wales. Rebecca English is trying to build up sympathy with the Welsh and make it seem like William is actually doing work when he's away from the camera. He ain't doing nothing. The only thing he's practicing is relaxing. William reveals Prince Louis tried to steal his sister, Princess Charlotte's friendship bracelet. So, William reveals delight as good news that Kate's treatment has finished, and he handed a letter from well wishers, but warns there's a long way to go as he meets royal fans. In other words, don't expect Kate to work. Kate is only going to show up about 3 or 4 times this year, and she's done. You won't see her again until Commonwealth Day. Lady T says, from this day forth, we shall refer to William as the other brother. No longer shall we speak his name. Hear, 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 hear. So let it be written, so let it be done. Thank you so much for the super chat. The other brother would never have just, oh, okay, that's twice. Okay, I don't know how I did that one twice, but those are two identical ones. Now, got another soundbite for you. I think I played a shorter version of this, maybe, but you are going to hear Rebecca English, and again, I do believe that the Kensington Palace wants her to try to clean it up. Now, what's interesting about this exchange is that there is disagreement between that rat-faced Maureen, Richard Eden, and Rebecca English. There is a disagreement. Ever so polite, but they're not seeing eye to eye about that video. Okay, I'm going to let you hear it. They're not seeing eye to eye about the video. Be quite evident. They are in disagreement.
Now, because they are the
family are definitely
Nope, not that one. God, I hate her voice.
Like Richard had been speaking to people about it all week. And I think what it boils down to is it's their story to tell. You know, it's not my story. I can be a conduit of it, but ultimately it's her experience, it's her cancer journey. It's up to them how they want to present it. And they are just overjoyed as a family that they are in so much of a better place now than they were 6-9 months ago. Because as I said, you know, in my piece earlier on this summer, this has been longer than just her cancer treatment. She wasn't very well in the run up to her initial surgery in January. So it's been a tough year for the family. And they just want to share it. They're just so happy they want to share it. I mean, it is slick, and I think this kind of thing probably should be a bit of a one-off. I think it's not the kind of thing they should maybe do too regularly. But I think to impart such good news, people I've spoken to said, look, just take it for what it is. You know, a family have got fantastic news to share. They hope it provides people in a similar position with a bit of hope as well. But she made the point of saying to them, look, I am with you. Hopefully, you know, you will see that there is light at the end of a very long, dark tunnel as well.
I mean, well, I was going to say, a lot of the comments seem to be along the lines of, should the royals do this sort of thing? And I must admit, it's I don't want to use the word weird, it's the wrong word, but it's so startling to see them being affectionate with each other. You know what I mean? It's such a strange thing for royalty, isn't it?
Yes, I mean, although I enjoyed it, I thought it was very sweet. I must admit it did make me uneasy because it just felt it was this sort of attempt to create a sort of Hollywood star. I mean, it almost felt like a sort of Hollywood trailer. And lots of people have said to me, "Oh, it's just the sort of thing that Meghan would have loved to do." Obviously, being an actress.
Oh, come on.
And we don't want Catherine to turn into Meghan. The royal family should be different. They should be dignified and not chasing this, because yes, it's the way that Catherine might have wanted to tell a story, but she's surrounded by advisors and she's got people saying, we want to get loads of hits on YouTube or whatever. And I think the royal family should be above that. They don't need to be the Kardashians.
But maybe it's just a glimpse into William's reign, is that they want to connect more with the public. They want to be more human facing. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, look, as I say, I can understand why it wasn't everybody's cup of tea, and I do completely get that. Although I do think actually it was a very honest look at their lives. And I wrote in my piece this week, with William and Kate, pretty much what you see is what you get. A lack of tech with the kids. They spend a lot of time in the great outdoors, and that was actually very faithfully represented in this video. I mean, the royal family are definitely feeling their way in the social media age. We have seen, when it comes to royal communications, they have really upped their game in terms of the social media output, the videos they're doing. You'll notice now at the end of anything, both Buckingham Palace and Kensington does, they have a kind of fancy logo.
Yes.
At the end, either Kensington Palace
looks a little bit like the Riviera Orchard one.
It looks a little like the Riviera Orchard. 3 sheets to the wind. Sway Sway, look at Sway Sway. I have a feeling that Sway Sway was that way again when this event took place. Rebecca English is wasting her time with this William rollout. William ain't about to do nothing. He's looking for the next excuse to take time off. But you could hear the desperation in her voice when she tries to explain that video. And obviously, there are too many people that are concerned that are not even saying it publicly. Royal Rota people that are concerned, courtiers for Charles and Godzilla that are concerned that video was a huge mistake. And the fact that they're trying to make it about Harry and Meghan, oh, this is what they would have done. No, they wouldn't have, because that was stupid. That was absolutely stupid. Meghan would have done something that Kate could not do, and that is write an op-ed, an essay or whatever. That's what Meghan would have done. I'm afraid that's something that Kate is incapable of. If she don't have somebody on the staff write it, then it's not going to happen. Dan Wooten says, Daily Mail has fallen literally, poached an awful columnist from the Daily Telegraph to run puff piece on Prince Harry, who is suing their behinds off to try to get the madman to see sense pathetic. Brianna Gordon, they know that she's a friend of Harry's, and they know that she's not going to write anything negative about him because she's going to be very truthful and show him support, as opposed to try to tear him down about nothing. Because as far as I'm concerned, the case that these tabloid reporters, these Royal Rota, have made against the Sussexes is all contrived, all made up, all designed to protect the other members of the family, as evident by the fact that 99% of the time they have absolutely nothing negative to say about Will and Kate. Even some of the more obvious things that warrant criticism, that deserves scrutiny, they will not touch it. The last time when I saw them taking a deep breath to try to do their jobs was the Thomas Kingston affair. That's the last time that they were actually debating, trying to figure out, well, that and where's Kate Middleton. They were a bit on the fence about Thomas Kingston's untimely death. And then also the where is Kate Middleton, they were itching to talk about it, and they just could not get past the what do they call it? The blackout, the whatever. They could not get past that. And this, of course, is the same Dan Wooten who, before he was going after the Sussexes, remember, Dan Wooten was rather fond of Harry and actually did not care about the royal family as a talking point every day because he was doing all of the entertainment stuff. He was too busy going after Carolyn Flack and people, like in that area. But it wasn't until he went over to the Sun and he started talking about this whole thing with, an intriguing fallout between Kate Middleton and Rose Hanbury. One of her long-term best friends has stunned royal insiders as the Duchess was told Wills and former model need to be phased, had told Will that former model needs to be phased out. Well, he was onto something, and now you can't even find the article. I believe they took the article down. And from what we hear, throughout all of the media, they have been trying to discreetly remove anything to do with Rose Hanbury. All because Stephen Colbert brought her name up to the masses. Then, of course, it was Operation hide Rose Hanbury's name. And since then, rarely is it brought up in the tabloid media or any place else in the British media. Now, here's another case of the truth and how, of course, they tried to shout her down. But Tessa Dunlap, I alluded to this yesterday, but I'm going to share it with you today. But Tessa Dunlap had something to say about that.
Difference. Kate's film is about her cancer.
Her truth. Her truth.
No,
but it is her truth.
No.
It's her version.
It's not about her truth.
Her
she has cancer.
Yes.
She's not inventing it.
No, I'm not suggesting she
When people
is.
talk about my truth, it normally means it's not the truth.
No,
right?
but
There is the truth. Her truth.
It's part of the story.
No, it's not. It's a fact she has cancer. Okay.
But we don't know what cancer.
And it's a fact she's had chemotherapy. We know a lot more about what's happened to her than we normally do about royal health issues. But here's the difference. She's making no money out of this.
Oh,
she makes. Hang on, let me finish my point. This is a very personal thing about her health because she's the future queen, and we've been demanding to know. Meghan and Harry's video.
Now, at that point, when he said she's making no money out of this, that's when when Tessa Dunlap had to literally bite her thumb or finger or whatever to try to hold back what she really wanted to say. She literally turned away from Piers Morgan and gnawed on her own finger so not to let slip what she was thinking.
Or their promo for their documentaries is a pure money-making exercise, trading off their royal titles to fill their coffers with more ill-gotten cash. That's why Tom and I are so cynical about it, because we see right through it.
Now, I don't know how you get on with basic arithmetic, but since the late Queen acceded to the throne, followed by Charles, the value of the Duchy of Lancaster and the Duchy of Cornwall put together, and William now, of course, is Duke over the Duchy of Cornwall, has increased in value 16-fold, 1.6
So what?
billion
So what?
pounds worth of profit.
So what?
Exempt of capital gains, exempt of
So
corporation,
what?
which, by the way, would cover holus bolus the entire winter
nonsense.
fuel
That's
duty.
absolutely
It's
nonsense.
not nonsense.
It is.
Tom,
The
it is
Duchy of
100.
Cornwall
What's your
Don't say
point?
nonsense.
What's your point?
My point is Kate does not have to worry about money.
Well,
and in fact,
well, so what?
after we've experienced the Labour budget, which
What's your point?
my point is Kate does not have to worry about money.
Well,
and in fact,
well, so what?
after we've experienced the Labour budget, which I think will attack
this is nonsense.
inherited wealth, the only people who will be entirely untouched by New Reality Britain will be the royal
What does that have
family.
to do with what
Because
Meghan
you-
and Harry did?
Because you have accused them of trying to make money
Because
and Kate not trying to make money. Kate doesn't
because
need
let
to
me
make
just say
money.
something.
Tessa, here's the
Yes.
difference.
Thank you, Tessa. And Tessa Dunlap is absolutely right. Every day, somewhere in the British media, they like to go after Harry and Meghan as being these money-hungry individuals, when the truth is they have to secure their family. They have to provide their own security. They have to actually pay for their property. They have to pay for their staff. And a lot of the philanthropy, they are not asking people for travel expenses. They're traveling on their own dime. That's how they got to Nigeria, and that is how they got to Colombia. The whole of Colombia was, let's see, I think their financial obligation for the Sussex's visit was about, I believe, 45,000 pounds or about 60,000 US dollars. That's it. Otherwise, they paid for themselves, they paid for their staff, their security. They brought their own security and also traveled with the vice president's security. So, all of those events, the vice president was likely to attend anyway, because as vice president, she's also the minister of culture. So she would have gone to those events anyway. And she is also full of pride in the Black community, and also wants to elevate the experience of Black women. So she would have gone to those events anyway. It wouldn't have cost the taxpayers anything for Harry and Meghan for just about almost everything. It was no financial burden to the taxpayers. You cannot say the same for the royal family, the so-called working royals. And as Tessa Dunlap said, there's going to be a huge tax burden on people of means, except for the royal family. Charles will not be affected. William will not be affected. Remember, the Queen volunteered to pay tax. She was not obliged to pay tax. She only paid because someone in the House of or in the Commons called her out. That's the only reason why she volunteered to pay tax. There was no debate or anything. And the amount that she pays is the amount she paid is anybody's guess. Yeah, they are paying a lofty sum, or as they say, a king's ransom is what they're paying for the royal family. They were trying to drown Tessa Dunlap out. And, Tessa be the first person to tell you, I am not a squatty. I am not picking sides, but I am going to tell the truth as I see it. And the truth is, Kate has no financial burden. William has no financial burden. They are financial burdens, but they are not burdened by anything. And neither one of them, and I do mean both of them, have grown up without a want for anything. So the idea that Harry and Meghan are just trying to make money, No, Harry and Meghan are trying to be secure away from the institution. The whole point of them leaving was so that they hopefully could escape the daily attacks by the tabloid media. Because remember, when they were at Frogmore, how many times did they say over and over again that we're paying for that house, we're paying for this, and we're paying for that? And I, listen, as an African American, as a black man, let me tell you something I've learned from being in this world for over half a century. Anytime, are you listening carefully? Anytime there is a person of African descent, a black woman, a biracial woman, just a drop of dew, that's when people become preoccupied about how much things cost. They did that with the Obamas. Any black person that has been elected to high office in any of these 50 United States is always the same thing. They cannot stand for black people to enjoy the equivalent of what the wealthiest white person has. Not even the equivalent. Even if that person is not the wealthiest, but anything that seems like it is part of their office or part of their role, part of their ceremonial duty, when it's a black person, I have seen it over and over again. They can't stop thinking about how much stuff costs. They can't stop thinking about it. And they never, ever would have brought up how much things cost if Harry had married a blonde. If he had married an English rose, you would have never heard about money. They were so worried that Meghan was going to get over somehow. And even more offensive, even more frightening was the idea that Doria was angling for some of the advantages of being a public servant. I'm telling you, I've seen it my whole life. It never changes. It's always a panic. And even if it's your own earned money, you go on vacation. What's her name said this? Jennifer Lewis. She said she went on a cruise. It was in her book. She said she went on a cruise and people could not stop asking her, "What do you do?" Meaning, how do you afford the best accommodations like I have? And that's why I say they treat Harry and Meghan like fugitive slaves. And it's not because of Harry. It's not just because he left, but it's because of Meghan. God, am I tired of that? But it's true. That is something that is reserved for a successful black person, is the question, how do you afford this? Or you're taking advantage. It played out for 8 years in the White House when Obama was president. YM George says, so odd that the working royals are well enough to do frolicking summer eve commercials, but not to actually do any work. And where's Queen Cujo? Here. Where is she? Because she has been laying mighty low. She has been laying mighty low. You don't really see much of her. Now, the last time I saw her, let me see if I can find those. She looked like she was hanging out with William. She looked like she was hanging out with William the last time I saw her. Let me see. She was looking pretty bad. Oh, Lord. Don't tell me I can't find it. Oh, I don't think I labeled it. That's why I don't see it. But yeah, she was looking mighty rough herself. I mean, mighty rough. Okay. Wait, I got this. I will not be defeated. I will not be defeated. Ha! There it is. There it is. And just as I feared, I did not label it. But that's okay. I'll do that right now. And then we can easily solve this one. Okay. Okay, here goes. Woo! Okay, are you ready? Because this was the last time I saw her. Okay, that is not the worst of it. This right here. Now tell me that doesn't look like somebody who needed to be cut off at a certain point. Tell me that doesn't look like somebody who needed to be cut off at a certain point. If you had just happened upon her, you would never know that that was a member of the royal family. You would have thought that it was just some lush that staggered out of a pub somewhere. You would not suspect that that was a member of the royal family, let alone the queen consort. How could you know? How could you know? And that is somebody's grandmother. That's what gets me, is that that is somebody's grandmother. Look at her. Oh, look at her. Uh-oh. It's like she stepped out of the wrong door, like she walked out of the wrong exit. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I think I just walked out the wrong side. Uh-oh. I don't see the car. Uh-oh. Yeah. Yep. I think they have been in good company. I agree with you, YM Droid. I agree. Oh, you know what? Why don't we give Harry a little additional birthday present? Shall we? We haven't done that in a while. We have not done that one in a while. Let me see. Okay. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex. This is my own feelings being expressed the only way I know how. All right. There we go. Now that's what I call a birthday. Um, so Tessa Dunlap, she loved that exchange so much that she actually posted the thing on her social media. Whose truth? Whose money? Kate's royal video and how to solve the winter fuel crisis in one fell swoop. This is the clip I would have chosen from Pierce Uncensored. So yeah, that's I think I may have did I get the tail end of that one? Okay, so that one was 2 minutes. How long is this one? That's 2 minutes. Okay, yeah, it was the right one. And then old Tom Bauer, wait a minute. That's not true. That's not true. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. That's not true. I can't wait to get home and give myself an enema. He is the epitome of the pompous old Englishman, the epitome of the pompous old Englishman, the old, what do you call it? He's gone to the best public school. Yeah, that's what he gives me. Now, speaking of somebody giving and receiving, or let's just say giving, um, the equerry, the equerry. I came across this on Reddit, and I could not help but notice everybody. A matter of fact, let me just say this. Somebody did mention that the other day, is that William seems to prefer people in his circle to have a bit of a beard, and that he was the only one, because of duty, who was not allowed to have a beard. But um, it's not Harry that has to hang up about the beard. It's actually William. Now, of course, when I say beard, he does have a beard. He's always had a beard. I mean, he's had a beard since 2011. Yeah, that was when he had his beard, was ever since 2011. But he was not allowed to wear the beard until, after the Queen passed and after he built up his courage. Now he's got a house full of beards. Yeah, beards. Um, but I just want to say that these beards are hiding in plain sight. That he seems to have a certain fondness of beards. I mean, they're everywhere. They're all over Kensington Palace. And even some of the people with beards, I suspect they have beards for the beards. So that's it. It's so awkward. Now that you see it, you can't unsee it, can you? Now that you see it, you cannot unsee it. There's nothing you can do that will make you ever, that could allow you to never, ever unsee this. Kristen Jones has a beard. Jason Knopf has a beard. Rob Dixon, the equerry, he's got a lot of facial hair. And also, I just want to point out, there seems to be other people that believe that that was Kristen Jones who went with William to see Kate while she was in hospital, right? You see how they got the arrow pointing down there? Now, I was more than certain, but I can't be 100% because of the grainy image. But it seems to me like William uh, was beard for beard that day. So that's all. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. And maybe that's why there was such a panic about the spare. Maybe that's why there was such a panic about the Oprah interview. They just didn't know what was going to come out. You have no control over what comes out. So for that reason, you have to, I guess, preempt the conversation by calling Meghan a bully or whatever. But however you slice it, it's all very, very interesting. And of course, there was that very awkward exchange that they had on that talk show that day when they were discussing things about William that they could not discuss. And one of these days, we're going to get there. We're going to get there, and the conversation will be had. And of course, William will be free. It was actually going to set him free. It's not going to, he won't have to feel so contained anymore, if you're picking up what I'm putting down. So, yeah, he'll be free. Yeah, he'll be free. Let me see. Okay. Yep, I cannot find that one. But anyway, that exchange, you probably remember that one. When the lady says, "Hello, lawyers." Hi, lawyers. Yes. Thank you, Esmeralda. It's no longer the men in gray suits. It's the men in beards. Yes. Thank you. Yes, thank you very much. That is profound. Absolutely. It's not that we have to worry about the men in the gray suits. We have to worry about the men with the beards. Okay, I like that. Let me see here. Wow. Somebody says, is Prince William breaking under the pressure? He really looks bad, you guys. He really does. Let me go back to that. He really, it's like he looks worse than he did before. My goodness. Oh gosh, I wish I could find the well, anyway. A little late right now. This is terrifying. Prince William just breaks silence on Kate Middleton. That was 2 days ago. You know, that's one of those videos I don't click on. Anything that looks like that, I don't click on it. Ooh wee. But when that story breaks, When that story breaks, it is going to be that's when people will not be able to turn away. That is going to get him the attention that he didn't want. Yeah, he kind of looked like he was in a boy band. Yeah, he looked like he was in a boy band for about 5 minutes. Yeah, you know what? You know what, Courtney Sylvester? You're absolutely right. This last round of nasty articles, just when Harry said that he was happy, um, here comes the attacks. But I also think that it has something to do with this William rollout. In order to, I guess, set William up for whatever it is that they're trying to do for this fall, they needed to try to bring Harry down. William really is preparing to. Yes, sleep rough with a black man. He is going to sleep rough with a black man if he hasn't been doing it already. Well, whatever's going on, at least he has his equerry, right? At least he has Rob Dixon. So Rob will take good care of him. That's what the equerry is for, is to see to your comfort and make sure that you're, tucked in at night or whatever. That's what the equerry is for. The Queen had an equerry. Charles has an equerry. Godzilla's got one. All of the, those people, they have their equerries. And Rob, with that incredible head of hair and that great beard that he has, he'll see to him. Wait a minute. Let me go back there and look at something. Yep, he fits in nicely with that group. Lovely beard, big wall of hair. Look at all that hair that Christian and Jason has. See that? They got that big wall of hair up there. So that's the one thing that William won't be able to conquer, is having the full head of hair. But the beard, yeah, he can do that one. It might look ratty, but he can do that. Anyway, with that, you all, I am done. I just want to say it again. This recent round of attacks that the Sun and the Daily Fail, who, by the way, is declining according to reports that they have to downsize in the United States. And during the political season, that's really shocking, that you would think during this political season that they would need as many people as possible, but they're in the process of downsizing because they're not needed, because people are tired of the negativity. And for what it's worth, with all of the vitriol that they throw at the Sussexes, there are so many comments where people are saying, please leave them alone. Do you have anything else to talk about? This is old news. But they keep trying. And I believe it's because they are instructed by the palace, both houses of Windsor, that they have their instructions to, build them up for whatever occasion. And so whatever rollout that William is trying to do for the fall, he needs to see Harry torn down to make it work. Connie Balmer! Hey, Connie Balmer, thank you so much for being here. Of course, we're about to go in a minute, but good to see you. I'll take a look at a couple of your comments before I go. Yes, happy birthday, Harry. Oh, you know what? You know what we need for Harry's birthday? You know what we need for Harry's birthday? It's a little dated, but that's never stopped us before. Where is she? Where is she? Ha, there we go.
And I love Prince Harry, and Prince Harry should be king. He should be king. Prince Harry, not William. William and all of them in there, Camilla is the wicked witch of the devil himself, because she is part of why Princess Diana is not here. I do not like them. I am from the islands, and we don't need them in the Caribbean. Get lost. Demolish the monarchy. This is 2023, okay? And I will support Harry 100%. I do feel for him. Yes, I do. And everything in the book is the truth. And Charles is the monster, not Harry. Harry is no monster, not Meghan. He's bringing the story out right now. They are evil people. They are not nice. Behind the wall, we all are one human being, and behind that wall there are no difference with me and you and any other Brits. Give the people back the money. They are just welfare recipients living off the taxpayers of the British people. And the British people are stupid supporting that nonsense monarchy. It is nothing. It's just a title. It means nothing, a title. I'm angry at them.
There you go. That really sums it up right there. Give the people back their money. And the British people putting up with this nonsense. You know, when she says that, my shoulders go up. I'm just like, I didn't do anything. Yes, give the people back their money. I know. Isn't she a treasure? I love her. I love her. Yeah, Harry is very, very handsome. He is. All right, you guys. So it is 12:15 my time. So yes, it's officially 15 minutes of Harry's birthday. Of course, you know, we're all in different time zones, so it's been his birthday for quite some time. For 12 hours, hasn't it? You know how I am about countdowns. So tomorrow, I'm hoping the Lady Sussex will be on. I hope she is. That will be a nice way to close out my weekend. Yours too, I hope. The Lady Sussex, Sunday morning. It's good to have that something on a Sunday morning. And you know, since they've gone live, I have to say I really do love their lives. Their lives are phenomenal. I love it. The banter between Lady Sussex, George, and George and wait, George and Charles. Yeah, George and Charles. Amazing. Did you guys watch last week? Anyway, you know, and I think what I love is that I think while she's caring for her mom, that having the Sussex squad, having the community is I think that we could not possibly know what this community is to people that are up late at night or need to have that sense of community when there's like some stressful things going on. And you can never underestimate that. And I love when people say that I'll just put on Royal Sussex and cook dinner or go for a walk or something like that. I love hearing that. I love hearing that because there's a lot of times when I am looking for someone to keep me company, and sometimes I'll watch Claire Kane or Anne, Duchess of Success. Who else? Well, I mean, Petal. I watch a lot of people, and it helps to pass the time. Oh, the channel? It is. Oh, let me see here. I'll find a link for it. I'll put the link at the top of the chat. Okay. I'm racing to try to beat Lydia to it. Okay, there we go. Oh, I got it. I got it. And now I'll just pin it at the top of the chat. Uh-oh. Okay, it's going to take a minute for me to do that. But anyway, that's the link right there. And I'll pin it to the top of the chat. So make sure you all go over there. You can do it right now, actually. And make sure you like and subscribe and hit that alert button so you can get, So the name of the channel is Lady Sussex. That's it, Lady Sussex. Now, it's called the Sunday service, but there's actually no direct religious affiliation. So it is a very ecumenical group. Anyway, you'll see when you go on. It is amazing. Oh, you mean the ones where they use the AI, those kind of channels? I've noticed that there's quite a few of those, the AI channels. Yeah, so long as they're friendly. So long as they're friendly. That's the whole thing. As long as they're friendly, long as the information is not at the detriment of Harry and Meghan, that is very important. Yep, long as it's not detrimental to the Sussexes and Doria, that is important. Oh yeah, that is scary, isn't it? Because he means to give them blanketed immunity, and blanketed immunity is a nightmare. They already have a great deal of protection. And I say this as someone who has currently two or three police officers in the family. But still, the blanketed immunity is not a good thing. If you're not giving your doctor blanketed immunity, you don't give your lawyer blanketed immunity, you don't give your local restaurant blanketed immunity. There's not too many places in society where people are protected from litigation. But if that monster makes it back to the White House, is his intention to give them blanketed immunity, which can be easily done by executive order. And then, of course, there'd probably be some type of fight in the Supreme Court. And we already know that the Supreme Court is likely to side with the Orange Menace. And that's what blanketed immunity is. That means that if they gave restaurants blanketed immunity and you ate something that was lethal, you would have no legal recourse, not civil, not criminal, because of blanket immunity. Well, one of the things that has been bothering me is the hatred and the hostility against the migrants or immigrants. That is one that bothers me a lot because inevitably that intolerance, that lack of tolerance, is transferred to children, and you will have children that are being bullied, not just in school but in the neighborhoods. And well, this is the US. We don't just throw bricks and rocks and bottles at each other. We throw lead around and it can get really messy. So if you're one of those people that have an end for the migrants, please stop because they're not going anywhere. And they're here, they're part of the community, and their children deserve our protection. So please stop doing that. The media is stirring up such a frenzy, I believe. And let's just do an experiment. I'm going to say this right now. After election day, you're going to barely hear anything about migrants. After the election day, the whole argument against the migrant community is going to dissipate until the midterm elections. So that means in 2 years it'll be a big topic again. But for now, it's all about causing embarrassment and taking votes away from the Democrats. That was a real low point. The whole thing with the Haitians, that is such a low point. And again, it's the American policies are the reason why Haiti has been perpetually poor. It's not because it's an island full of, or should I say, a nation full of black people. It's not because they're just so backwards or anything like that. It is because of the US, the French, and the whole Western world, the whole Western industrial world, and all of the sanctions and punishments that has been levied against Haiti. That's the reason why they have been perpetually the poorest nation in the Western Hemisphere. Instead of giving them support and protection, the United States decided to side with their enemies. And so when you see Haitian migrants coming here looking for a better life, don't they deserve it? Don't they deserve it? I say they do. I'm a common laborer and I'm not threatened by them at all. I'm not threatened by any immigrant. Yeah, France never has sensed to be an empire. The United States pretends like it's not an imperial country. France, they don't pretend otherwise. They're an empire. Yeah, all of these Western countries are empires. They're conquering, and they're not heroic. They're opportunist. Exactly, CK. Exactly. and knowing the history, when you know the history, if you can know the history of some of these countries and still decide who should and should not have a place in the US, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. If you know the history and you still can harbor discontent and hostility against Haiti, then you need to go back and study some more. Really need to go back and study some more. I just want to say that as an American, I have always had a very comfortable life, but that has never prevented me from learning the history of this country and the history of the opportunists, the empire, the imperial nature of this country. Um, that's why they don't. That's why the Republicans. That's why the conservatives. That's why they want to take a lot of the like critical race theory and such. They don't want the kids to learn the truth. They want them to just believe that they hate us because we're Americans. No, they don't like the policies. They're not angry at you. They're angry at the government. There's a difference. Yeah, it is. Every election is just as important as the last, and I do hope people will go out and vote. I understand that, Vinny Blair. I do. I understand that. Um, and you know, when you consider that, January 6th could have brought down the entire government. If that would have happened, if the United States um, would have, if the government would have collapsed on January 6th, it would have had a devastating effect on several other economies, if not the entire world. It would have been devastating. And yet, people are still willing to take their chances with that monster. I just, I'm very disappointed by that. Lex says the dogs and cats is a false flag. Ohio Senate candidate is found out to lie about this background. Basically, a George Santos. Got it. Thank you, Legs. Yeah, it's a false flag. One of many, I'm sure. One of many. One of many. And just like with the whole thing, you know, th- the government, the government can allocate more money to the communities to help absorb the migrants, immigrants, the dreamers, the green card holders, whatever the cost, it has to be paid. And both parties, I don't care what they say, but both parties want labor. They want cheap labor. They want the migrants here. The Republicans pretend like they don't, but they're just playing politics. And it's just like the Tories, they pretend like they don't want people to cross over in boats and come to the UK. Well, that's just politics. When these scare tactics, that's politics. But the truth is, there's a lot of work that Americans will not do. There's a lot of work that the native born British will not do. And that's just a fact. And so without the migrants, without the immigrants, then everything is going to cost more and there's going to be shortages in places that you don't expect. And that's just the truth. I need migrants to help support me in my retirement. I do. I do. We all do. Brenda Crane, 30 months. How is that possible? 30 months membership? Wow. Congratulations and thank you very much. And thank you for supporting Royal Sussex. Let's see. Me too, but he's not going to get it. I pray that that's the case. People are so fickle. People are so fickle. But yeah, with this limited platform I have, I'm going to say just one more time, please do not allow people to stoke fear and hatred toward migrants because it's not fair to them, it's not fair to the children. This is a nation of migrants, and the Western world has gone all over the place, taking wealth and drain. What do they call it? Brain drain. When you take the best and the brightest away from their nation of birth, and it depletes the other countries. So they're just following the money. And if it was the other way around, I would do the same thing. I'd follow the money. They want what you have, and they deserve it. Thank you, Adrian. I'm going to do my part. I always vote by mail. I get a receipt saying that my ballot has been counted, and I am going to do my part. But yeah, oh God, I guess I'm probably just a little nervous because 2016 wasn't supposed to happen and it did. So I cannot get the taste of 2016. I cannot get it out of my mouth. But it's okay to be vigilant and hyper aware of your situation because it makes you work harder, makes you try harder. So I am going to take a quick peek over on the Twitter and see if there's anything that's popping up in regards to our faves. If there's any photos or anything, I don't suspect there is, but I'm just going to take a look anyway. I got about 3 people that I keep an eye on. Okay, so far nothing. And then I'm going to bid you all a good night. Still nothing. Yeah, well, I don't see anything, so I think we are good for tonight. Oh, now see, that makes me sick. You know, threatening when politicians threaten deportation, children literally cry to their parents, "Are we going to have to leave?" And I'm like looking at that right now where someone orange is vowing to deport people. It does not matter to him what his words is doing to other people. It does not bother him. The whole point for him is to win. And that type of language is terrifying to children, and also it ain't easy on the adults. That language is horrible, and it makes the children feel insecure and afraid. and they don't care. They really don't care. Makes me embarrassed and ashamed, among other things. So that is why we have to vote, is so that we don't give that opportunist a chance to try to follow through. Even, and I don't suspect anything is in mass is going to happen, but still the threat of it is painful enough to the children. Okay, so we're going to end like we started. I'm going to play us out with the salsa. Love you guys. Thank you so much. And as always, thank you for trusting me to do this work. Do remember at the top of the chat, if you look at the chat, go all the way to the top, that is the link for Lady Sussex. Please make sure you subscribe to the Lady Sussex. They have an amazing exchange on Sunday, and you don't want to miss it. It was already good when they did their pre-recorded, but now that they're live, it's longer. It is more, there's more information. There's more calm. I always feel calm and at peace when they're on. So do look at the top of the chat. Do click on that link and make sure you subscribe. Okay? Subscribe and hit the alert button so you won't miss any every Sunday morning. So if I'm awake at that hour, which I suspect I will, I was last time, I will be in the chats too. Yes, Prince Harry turns 40 is trending. It really is trending. Okay, good night, everyone. Good night. Yes, happy birthday, Prince Harry. Prince Harry turns 40. Lordy, Lordy, look who's 40. That's right. Lordy, Lordy, look who's 40. Now let's do Ginger Avenger. That's more appropriate. And we'll really watch it this time. Right? Let's all watch it like it's the very first time. Okay? All right. I will see y'all.
Prince Harry is a young man who has grown up not just with good looks and also royal privileges. It would have been easy for him to choose a life of ease and leisure. Instead, he chose a more difficult path. And by so doing, he has become an example to millions of others. It is a path that fully embraces the noblest traditions of service to his country and to his fellow human beings. On the one hand, Prince Harry has bravely followed the tradition of generations of British royals before him by serving his country in the military. He has been an Army officer in the British Army since 2006 and deployed with the Household Cavalry Regiment Battle Group to Helmand Province in 2008. During his time there, he served in the front lines, directing British and American aircraft onto enemy targets. He has shown that he knows what it means to lead by example, even when it means possibly paying the ultimate price.
Yes. Marcus. Where's Marcus?
Jamaicans don't want the Queen. I can tell you that.
And unlike the Queen, he doesn't believe Prince William can keep Jamaica from becoming a republic.
If Harry did there now, people would have react different. People that go meet Harry. But William, I don't want to see that.
Attain in short order our development goals and fulfill our true ambitions and destiny as an independent, developed, prosperous country.
Thank you, Media.
And we are moving on, and we intend to attain in short order our development goals and fulfill our true ambitions and destiny as an independent, developed, prosperous country.
Thank you, Media.
I'd love to.
Right. We're staying here?
Yeah.
Give him a warm welcome, the Duke of Sussex, Prince Harry. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, first place and gold medal for team the United States of America! The United States represented by number 23, Sean Rollins, 24, Josh Rollout, 21, Joel Rodriguez, 3, Tisha Nickelbroker, 20, Kevin Green, 6, Brent Garlick, 17, Girl Oliver, 7, George Vera, 11, Kevin Quinn, number 9, Jay Smooth, number 10, Larry Franklin Jr., number 5, Gabi Cha, number 13, Andres Rodriguez, number 35, Carlos Jimenez. Coach of Team USA is Daniel Casher. varieties of gifts, but the same Spirit. And there are varieties of services, but the same Lord. And there are varieties of activities, but it is the same God who activates all of them in everyone. To each is given the manifestation of the Spirit for the common good. Now there are varieties of gifts, but the same Spirit. And there are varieties of services, but the same Lord. And there are varieties of activities, but it is the same God who activates all of them in everyone. To each is given the manifestation of the Spirit for the common good. Of healing by the one Spirit. To another, the working of miracles. To another, prophecy. To another, the discernment of spirits. To another, various kinds of tongues. To another, the interpretation of tongues. All these are activated by one and the same Spirit, who allots to each one individually, just as the Spirit chooses.
You were.
Meghan, you're beautiful!
To your right, please. Straight ahead, please. To your right, please. Sir.
love the shirt. Where did you get this shirt from? You want to swap?
Yes.
Next time. Next year.
Yes, okay.
Promise me.
Oh, that's very kind. Thank you. It's beautiful here. It's a beautiful city. Is it always this warm?
No. But it's a nice city. Yes.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Thank you for your work.
Thank you.
super. Ich finde sie sehr viel authentischer als Kate und William. Also ich bin mehr Harry und Meghan Seite. Ich finde es super, dass sie ihr Ding machen, dass sie das Richtige für ihre Familie tun und kann sie da nur unterstützen.
Harry with the baby.
Picture with Daniela.
Harry. Harry. The baby. Harry. Yeah, the baby. The baby. Can I take a picture with the baby? Picture with the baby.
Oh, Daniela.
We love your book. Yes, my daughter loves it. Yes, that's so sweet. So thanks for sharing a poem.
Oh my goodness. Oh, it's lovely to meet you. Oh my goodness.
Guys, watch the pushing, please, okay? Sorry. Okay, yeah. Thank you. All right.
So nice to meet you. Thank you.
Hello. Hello.
Thank you so much.
Very, very.
Oh, that's beautiful.
You look like you've been looking
That's
for a
your
while.
husband. Oh, you're waiting for 3 hours.
Are you drinking water?
Yes. This is Maureen and her husband. This is for you. Thank you.
Hi, Megan. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So good. Yeah. That's my wife. Hello.
Oh, nice to meet you.
You live 50 years here.
Oh my goodness.
And you English and German as well? Yeah, I'm German. German, so you moved here for him?
That's a beautiful love story.
Yeah.
Oh, how nice. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank
Harry,
you so
good to
much.
see you.
You are wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you for the support. It's lovely
Very,
to
very
be
nice
here.
to meet you.
Harry, good to see you.
Nice to meet you.
My wife, yeah.
Nice to meet you.
God bless you.
Nice to meet you. Ben.
Covers my stands since 4 o'clock in the morning to meet you.
Oh my goodness, that's so kind. Thank you so much. That's really
And
nice.
your letter.
Yes, we will.
She is foreign victim people, and she's for all the people there, and she did a great job.
Oh my goodness.
Harry! Meghan!
Bye.